let's continue our example. Okay, so this one. This is actually the towers of Hanoi. So this is actually again that you have three particular placement or storage of the disk, and then you need to move the disk from one place to another. And there is a rule that you cannot actually put the bigger disk on top of the smaller disk. So it must be smaller disk first and then uh, bigger disk. Okay. So how are we going to do the solution of this type of algorithm, and how are we going to do the activation record? So let's have the solution again. Okay. So in this case, we're going to use n equals 5. So we're going to send 5 here in the parameter. Okay, that's the number of disks to be actually used. So let's try to use 5. So if 5 is equals to 1, okay, we're going to return 1. But since 5 is not equals to 1 and 5 is greater than 1, we're going to proceed to this uh, algorithm. So I'm going to use 2 times. Then I'm going to call again Hanoi, the instance of another function. N is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. Parentheses plus 1. Okay, so again, an instance of a function is called here. So if I'm going to perform that, this becomes 2 times bracket plus 1. Meaning, I have a multiplication of 2 here, and then I had 1. And in this portion, the middle, I am calling an instance of another function. So I'm going to perform later on the values within that bracket. So again, calling function Hanoi is sending another value of n, which is 4. Is 4 is equals to 1? No, again, is 4 greater than 1? True. So I'm going to use again 2 times. Then again, Hanoi. Okay. Parenthesis. N minus 1 is going to use 4. So this becomes 3. Okay. 3 plus 1. Okay. So again, another instance of function Hanoi here. So I'm going to copy first 2 times bracket 2 times, again, additional bracket plus 1 is 1, the plus 1 here, and then another bracket plus 1. Okay? So again, I'm going to put the calling of an instance of another function here. So this time, I'm going to return 3. Is 3 is equals to 1? Not yet. Is 3 is greater than 1? Yes. So I'm going to use this again. So this becomes 2 times Hanoi, parentheses. So that is 3 minus 1. This becomes 2. Then I have still plus 1. Okay? Clear? So again, still we have an instance of a function here and calling the instance of function Hanoi and sending value to this time. So I'm going to again 2 times bracket 2 times bracket 2 times. So I'm going to call an instance of a function Hanoi. Going to put a close bracket plus 1 close bracket, then another plus 1 close bracket, and then another plus 1. Okay? So this is the we're going to put the calling of an instance of a function. This time using 2. This 2 is equals to 1, not yet, so I'm going to use this. So this becomes 2 times Hanoi, parentheses, n minus 1 is 2 minus 1 is 1 plus 1. Okay, so we're not yet done. Okay, we still have an instance of another function here. So again, I'm going to copy 2 times bracket 2 times bracket 2 times bracket 2 times another bracket instance of a function. So we're going to do that here. Plus 1 bracket, and then plus 1 bracket, plus 1 bracket, and then plus 1. Okay, clear? Okay, so here again, the instance of Hanoi with a parameter 1, we're going to go back. Is 1 is equals to 1, then I'm going to return 1 here. Okay, so we're done. So we're going to just process the arithmetic operation. So let's check if it's correct using the activation record. So by the way, okay, this first activation record is not counted when we are asking how many activation record we created from this type of algorithm. So we're going to do the first counting on the second activation record, since this is just the initialization of what we have in n. Okay, so if n is equals to 5, again, we're going to process again the algorithm that we're going to include in the box or in the activation record. So since this is 5, so it will return 2 times Hanoi and minus 1 plus 1. So this becomes 2 times Hanoi, parentheses 5 minus 1 is 4 plus 1. Okay, so again, we're calling another instance of a function, so we're going to create another activation record. So this time, our n is 4. Is n is equals to 4, 1, false, n is greater than 1, true. So again, we're going to return 2 times Hanoi, parentheses, n minus 1, this time is 3 plus 1. Okay, next, again, we are calling an instance of another function. So 3, so okay, so Hanoi 3, this time n is equals to 3. Is 3 is equals to 1? False. 3 is greater than 1? True. So again, we're going to use 2 times Hanoi, parentheses. So that's 3 minus 1 is 2, parentheses, plus 1. Then again, another instance of a function that is having a parameter value of 2, calling an instance again of Hanoi with a parameter value of 2. Okay, so again, is 2 is equals to 1 false, then we are going to return 2 times Hanoi, parentheses. 2 minus 1 is 1, parentheses, plus 1. Okay, so again, another instance of a function, Hanoi, and this time we're going to send a value of 1 for n. So if n is equals to 1, okay, since 1, okay, that will be a returning value with equivalent to return 1. So here, I'm going to return 1, return 1. So we're going to make use of 1 to multiply with this. 2 times 1 plus 1. So 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1. We're going to return the value of 3. So again, we're going to use 3 here. So this becomes 2 times 3, 6 plus 1. That becomes 7. Then I'm going to use again 7, return value in calling Hanoi 3. So this becomes 2 times 7, 14 plus 1, 15. And finally, 2 times 15 is 30 plus 1. The return value when we have n equals 5 is 31. So our solution with the activation record is correct. So in this case, when we are asked if how many activation records we created from this algorithm, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 activation records when we are processing n equals 5 from an algorithm towers of Hanoi.